Imagine opening a warm pizza box after a long day. The smell of melted cheese fills the room. Steam rises from the crust. Before you even take a bite, your brain already knows what's coming. A burst of salt, a flood of fat, soft bread, melted cheese, rich tomato sauce. Every ingredient is carefully designed to make you want another bite. Now imagine placing that same slice into the hands of a hunter-gatherer who lived 25,000 years ago during the last ice age. Someone who had never seen wheat fields, never milked an animal, never tasted cheese, never even imagined bread. Would they think it was the greatest food ever made? Or would their body reject it completely? The surprising answer has almost nothing to do with pizza. It has everything to do with how evolution shaped your appetite over the last 300,000 years. By the end of this story, you'll see that pizza isn't just modern food. It's almost like a cheat code for a brain that evolved in a completely different world. Around 300,000 years ago, the earliest known Homo sapiens appeared at Jebel Irhoud in present-day Morocco. Their world was brutally unpredictable. Some days they found food. Many days they didn't. Unlike you, they couldn't open a refrigerator. They couldn't order delivery. Every meal began with uncertainty. According to evolutionary anthropologist Daniel Lieberman of Harvard University, early humans spent enormous amounts of time simply searching for food. Walking, tracking, digging, climbing, waiting. A single successful hunt might feed an entire group. The next one might fail completely. That uncertainty shaped one of the strongest instincts your brain still has today. Whenever energy appeared, eat it. Don't wait. Don't save room, because tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Your ancestors didn't evolve to avoid calories. They evolved to chase them. But here's where it gets strange. Pizza delivers something prehistoric humans almost never experienced: an enormous amount of energy, all at once. Take the crust. To you, it's just bread. To an ancient human, it would have been astonishing. Bread begins with grain. But wild grains look nothing like the wheat growing across farms today. At Ohalo II, beside the Sea of Galilee in modern-day Israel, archaeologists discovered evidence that hunter-gatherers were collecting wild cereals nearly 23,000 years ago. The discovery showed that prehistoric people understood edible grasses long before agriculture. There was only one problem. Wild cereal seeds were tiny. Thousands had to be collected by hand, then cleaned, then dried, then crushed with stone tools, then mixed with water, then cooked over fire. Hours of work for something smaller than a modern loaf of bread. Your pizza crust skips every one of those steps. Centuries of farming, industrial milling, commercial baking. Everything your ancestors had to work for arrives instantly in one bite. Your brain doesn't calculate the effort. It only notices the reward. And from an evolutionary perspective, that's exactly what it was designed to do. Except the bread wasn't the most shocking part of the pizza. That came next. Except the bread wasn't the most shocking part of the pizza. That came next. Cheese. Today, it's one of the most ordinary foods in your refrigerator. For almost all of human history, it didn't exist. Before the domestication of sheep, goats, and cattle around 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, adult humans rarely consumed milk. Even if they had, many couldn't digest it. Research led by geneticist Sarah Tishkoff has shown that lactase persistence, the ability to digest milk as an adult, evolved independently in several populations only within the last few thousand years. That means your ability to enjoy a cheese pizza is actually a recent evolutionary upgrade. To an Ice Age hunter-gatherer, melted cheese would have been unlike anything they had ever encountered. Not because it tasted strange, because it combined dense fat and protein into an incredibly concentrated package. In nature, that combination was exceptionally rare. Your ancestors usually found lean meat, sometimes nuts, occasionally fatty marrow hidden inside bones. They almost never found all of those rewards in one convenient meal. But pizza wasn't finished surprising them. There was still the tomato sauce. Wild tomatoes originated in South America thousands of miles from where early Homo sapiens evolved. For over 290,000 years of human history, nobody had ever tasted one. Even after tomatoes reached Europe in the 16th century, many people believed they were poisonous because they belonged to the nightshade family. The ingredient that feels completely ordinary to you today would have been entirely unknown to every prehistoric human who ever lived. Then comes something even more powerful: salt. Archaeological evidence suggests that Paleolithic hunter-gatherers obtained sodium naturally from meat, blood, fish, and wild plants. Refined salt simply wasn't available in unlimited quantities. Your brain evolved to crave sodium because it was essential for muscle function, nerve signaling, and hydration. Modern pizza delivers far more salt in a few bites than many prehistoric meals ever contained. Your taste buds interpret that as something incredibly valuable. Evolution hasn't realized supermarkets exist. Your brain is still responding as though every calorie and every gram of salt might be your last chance for survival. But perhaps the biggest surprise isn't how ancient humans would react to pizza. It's how your own body still does. In 1999, neuroscientist Kent Berridge proposed an important distinction between liking food and wanting food. The two aren't the same. You can enjoy something, or you can become intensely motivated to seek it out. Foods combining refined carbohydrates, fat, and salt stimulate reward pathways that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. Those pathways weren't built for restaurants. They were built for survival. When an Ice Age hunter found honey inside a hollow tree, it was an extraordinary event. When a family successfully hunted a large animal, they consumed as much as possible because nobody knew when another opportunity would come. Pizza recreates that evolutionary jackpot every single time you order it. Without the searching, without the uncertainty, without the danger, your Stone Age brain receives the reward. Your modern world removes almost all of the effort. That's a combination evolution never had time to prepare for. So, would an ancient human love pizza? Almost certainly. The warm bread would provide fast energy. The melted cheese would deliver concentrated fat and protein unlike almost anything they had experienced. The salt would satisfy a craving shaped over countless generations. The cooked ingredients would likely be easier to digest than many wild foods. But there would also be surprises. Someone without lactase persistence might experience digestive discomfort from large amounts of dairy. The overwhelming richness could feel unfamiliar after a lifetime of lean meat, roots, berries, and seasonal plants. Yet none of those reactions would erase one simple fact. Pizza concentrates thousands of years of agriculture, animal domestication, food preservation, and cooking into a single meal. Every bite represents inventions that prehistoric humans never lived to see. When you eat pizza tonight, it feels like comfort food. Something ordinary. Something you've probably eaten dozens or even hundreds of times. But your brain doesn't see an ordinary dinner. Deep inside, it still recognizes an impossibly rare event. An enormous amount of energy. Minimal effort. No predators. No failed hunt. No empty stomach waiting tomorrow. The world around you has changed faster than evolution ever could. Your ancestors spent hundreds of thousands of years searching for meals that barely resemble a single slice of pizza. Yet the brain they passed down is still sitting inside your head, reacting as though you've just stumbled across the greatest feast the Ice Age has ever seen.